there's people on the internet who don't like us. Do you consider them enemies?
Yes.
You do?
My therapist ghosted me. I just thought about that.
What's up, you guys? And welcome back to school.
But don't worry, everything's cool.
I'm your host, Julyssa.
And I'm your host, Janel, a.k.a. the baddest.
And of course, we are here with the boys, Steve and Brennan. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
And how y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty
good.
And it's actually really nice outside. You guys can hear
It
the birds
is.
chirping and stuff.
The birds, bitch.
Bird ambience.
It's
The birds be
spring.
chirping.
It's
It's
spring,
so
guys.
hot, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
it's,
a heat wave coming.
I know.
at least it's not like summer hot yet. Summer hot's going to be even hotter than this.
Worse?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean, it's spring, dude.
Mm.
I'm gonna do what Brennan does.
You guys like the spring forward,
I
though?
do.
Yeah?
I love the spring. I'm a spring baby, so
I
that's probably
don't.
why.
I don't.
Yeah, I
Personally.
like
You
it.
were saying before the show, your birthday's coming up,
My
right?
birthday's coming up
When?
April 23rd. Gonna be 30.
Ooh.
Don't know what I'm doing yet. Just gonna look hot. That's all I care about.
30.
Dirty 30 for sure.
How does it feel to have completed 3 decades? Wait, is it 3
Ooh.
decades? Yeah, 3 decades.
Damn.
How's that feel?
That's kind of scary. Don't say it like that.
I think it was
I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like 30 is going to be, I think we said this before, you get more sure of yourself as you get older. So I'm excited about what that's going to look like.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
I was thinking about that, when I was swimming. I was like, damn, because I'm 27, so I am pushing 30. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What have I done with 3 decades? Like, damn, I just been fucking around, dude.
I also want to do like something where like I create a list of things I want to do before 30 that are reasonable because now it's like closing in. So I actually kind of like lock in right
Yeah,
now.
deadass. That's what I was
I need to
thinking
do that soon because I'm like, I've been saying I'm going to do that. And it's like, girl, your birthday's next month. So
Yeah.
What would you say is your number one thing? Do you have one yet?
I really want to get better at like discipline, but I don't know if that's like something I can do. In,
If
like-
you can discipline yourself.
I don't know. I have a hard time like doing something consistently. I can like have so much energy in the beginning, like, oh yeah, I got this. I'm gonna lock in, and then after the third day, I'm like, all right, I can slack here a little bit. I think that's normal though because it's just like our brain is wired to see results quicker.
Yeah.
So if we don't see it quick, we're just kind of like,
Do you
Is
do
it really
well
worth
under
it?
pressure?
I do better under pressure.
Raise the
I've-
stakes then. Make it like if you don't stay consistent with this one thing, I don't know, you'll burn like $200.
That is
Literally, like, with
true.
a lighter.
Oh.
I'm serious. Raise the stakes. Yeah. and
I
people do
probably,
better
I
under
probably
pressure.
should do something like that
Yeah.
where I'm like actually have a consequence.
Yeah. Or
Because
like, yeah.
I'm like really lenient with myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell like a
it's just-
homie like if I don't do this, like
Beat
they-
my ass.
they can have, yeah. Either that or they can have like your car or something.
Yeah.
They could have your favorite piece of clothing.
Oh,
Damn.
that's a good one. Cause I might have to fight for that one. Like, yeah, no. Good, yeah, actually, that is a good one. I can
Yeah.
probably do that one. That's more reasonable. Cause my car, I don't really need my car as much right now. I don't drive.
Yeah.
Like, I've had my car for like almost 3 years. Like 14,000 miles on that.
Hey, dude, they're making PT better here in LA because of the Olympics.
PT.
What's PT?
Public
Public
transport.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
just wanted to say
I
PT.
always say PT, huh?
You know, I thought at work.
I've never.
Yeah.
I've never.
I thought of part time.
I
I
always
was
say
like, wait.
PT.
Yeah.
I've never heard you say.
I was about to
that.
say
In-
Pacific time. Like, what are you talking
I always
about?
say PT.
In the 20 years I've known you, I've never
Oh
heard you say
my!
that.
Do I gotta call one of the homies right now and
You
ask
guys
them?
met at 7 years old?
Yeah,
I'm 25,
Oh,
but we met in kindergarten.
Yeah.
wow.
No, we were little
Locked
kids, yeah.
I don't even remember
in.
how I met him. I just in my memories, he's always around somewhere.
Yeah, I don't
Locked
remember.
in.
He's always
Yeah.
been in the canon, so
It's like the
Wow.
sun. He's always just existed in the universe.
yeah.
You guys have grown up together. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, it's trippy. I'm pushing 30, bro.
Shit.
We were just texting yesterday about how like I can't believe it's been 6 years since 2020.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
pandemic
Pandemic.
is
Oh, wow.
the anniversary for the, I mean, not a great anniversary, but it'll be
Friday
6
13th.
years on, yeah.
March 13th.
Yeah.
It just passed.
Well, it just passed now, Friday.
Wait, since
Yeah.
like COVID really started to.
Since the
Lockdown.
lockdown, quarantine.
Mine started March 18th. I remember because like we went on like our whole job had to work from home. So I remember it was
Oh,
March
wow.
18th very vividly.
I remember we were in school and they sent us home early.
Oh,
Damn.
it was
Yeah.
scary though. It was really scary. You really thought something like, oh, like this was
You
like
never
a
went
death
back to
sentence.
you never went back to school,
And
huh?
I went back to school, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I was. What are the odds? I was thinking about that yesterday too. Cause I guess I am really thinking about pushing 30, and I was like, damn, dude. I can't believe I really didn't get like that college experience. Like,
Mhm.
I think it's one of those things though that like I am sad about, but I think through it's like a kind of a value. Like there's like some lesson in there. I haven't figured it out, but I think
Mhm.
there is some value in the fact that I went through that like because I think it allows me to gain empathy for other people who also seem like they've missed out on like a lifelong experience.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't because of COVID.
Yeah, like those people in 2020 who didn't get a prom, they didn't get a
Yeah.
graduation, had the drive-by graduation. I would have been so disappointed. You wait your whole life to work this fucking hard, and then like you get a drive-by graduation, and you don't get to get dressed up for prom. And did they ever get any like something afterwards? Like I don't know. I feel like that would be that's so disappointing. I can see why they're still upset. I
There's a
would
meme
still be
about
upset.
it. Have you seen it?
Oh, about how it's like
Millennials talking about like something Gen
Gen
Z
Z.
talking about this. People who graduated in 2020,
And
and we didn't get a graduation. Did I mention that? 'Cause
Yeah,
they
that-
talk about how they always bring it up, but I mean, I think that's valid.
yeah, it's very valid because that's
Yeah.
like a universal experience that everyone had to got to do, and then like the world was crumbling around them. Like I can't
And now
even
everything's
imagine.
back to normal,
Yeah,
so you can't even like nobody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably look at you like you're still talking about that. Like, no, actually, I should be still talking about that. I'll be pissed.
Did you guys like your graduation and prom?
Yeah, I saw Halle Berry at my grad night.
What?
Yeah, she was at the Disney with her kids, and I was like, oh my god, Halle Berry, Halle Berry. Y'all never heard
That's
that song?
cool. That's actually
Funny.
cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked. My prom was really interesting because it was like the first time I think people saw me in a dress because I was such a tomboy.
Oh,
So
wow.
they were probably like, "What the fuck?"
That's
So,
cool
yeah.
though. Did you guys see that video that was going viral of this graduating class at grad night in Disney? They snuck a speaker into the California the Incredible coaster, and they were playing I think Ski, but
Ski?
yeah, but
Right. What's her name? Sexy Red.
yeah, and somebody I think in the video is like, "Come on, guys, at least play Empire of the Sun." And the entire comment section is like clowning them, but then it started like a discourse where like then people were duetting it and being like, "I can't believe people are really hating on Empire of the Sun."
That's not a bad choice. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a bad
I
choice.
gotta hear the song. I don't even know what it is.
Well, we'll get copyrighted, so
Just sing it. Sing it.
Oh.
Sing like an expert. Julie, you sing.
How does it go?
Who has the best singing? You could sing. You hit that note the other time, but she doesn't even know the song.
How does it?
Don't tell nobody.
I could play it and then Julie can mute it. Yeah,
She's
see,
like, "Don't
I'm
give me
a-
more work."
see, nah, it doesn't feel so good, huh? Yeah.
Oh, the walking on a dream one. Walking on a dream.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
How can I explain?
Yeah, I've never heard
Talking
the song.
to myself.
That's
Bro,
Will I
what-
see you again?
That one's like blowing up, huh?
the
Yeah.
script.
We
Scuba?
are always
Yeah.
running for the thrill
It's
of
been-
it,
Oh, I've heard of
thrill
this.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's been around for a while because of the baby, the AI baby, the one that's like this.
Uh,
And
goes like that?
Well, they have a dance where he's dancing to the Stranger Things, and he's like,
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen the one. I've seen the one where it's the characters where it's like Mario, like Sonic or something like that, and they're all
Oh, they're
dancing
doing
the like the
The
little
scuba?
dance.
and they're all doing this.
No, they're not. No, it's like Goku and all of them. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's like a old video game, and they're like dancing.
That's funny.
and I think they put that song on it, or they put like different songs on it.
Scuba.
Oh, today's the Oscars, right?
Yes. That was literally what I was gonna bring up too.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys think who's gonna win Best Actor? Is it gonna be Mr. Charlemagne or Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B.
I hope so.
It's gonna be Michael B.
Go ahead.
I was thinking because like I didn't watch Marty Supreme, so I'm only talking about from my experience, so take that with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I think if you can play two characters and people are literally like actually can tell the difference, that's so hard to do. And so like it's like that, Trapped. What was that movie where Lizzie Lohan did the same thing?
Parent Trap.
Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, if you can do something like that and like people really like, does he have a twin? Like if
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And I've never seen someone act, well, I guess in Parent Trap, but like I really enjoyed that performance. And I like the fact that people are still doing deep dives on it and still learning more about that film and the things that he did, the things that Ryan Coogler did. I think that's shows just the impact, you know?
I wonder
I think-
what they're doing right now, because as we speak,
Probably getting ready.
Timothy and Michael B.
Yeah, they're
are
probably getting
here,
ready.
like,
yeah,
just, like,
they're
a
probably
couple
getting
miles that
ready.
way. Yeah.
Probably nervous. Oh, that's so exciting. I'll be
Yeah,
so
it
excited
is.
about that.
Is Timothy still with Kylie?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know how you pronounce that. I like the way you
Yeah.
pronounce that. I like
Yeah.
that.
It's interesting because when we first talked about the Oscars and whether or not Michael B. Jordan was gonna win, his odds like on like Kalshi and all that bullshit like were really low, and I had said like I could see him winning, but then the Tourette's thing happened, and right now he's the favorite to
Oh,
win, and
really?
yeah, because then Michael B. Jordan ended up winning the SAG, but they call it now the Actors Award.
Yeah.
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 he ended up winning that, which was like shocking, and it was cool though. Did you guys see his like speech?
Yes.
It was cool. Oh, what's Delroy? He started tearing up. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
When
And
he
then-
hugged him before he went.
Bro,
on
I didn't know
stage.
he was in Blood In Blood Out.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Delroy
either.
Lindo. Yeah, he's in Blood
Yeah.
In Blood
Oh,
Out. He's
really?
the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's you know how
I
they have the
don't know
hairpiece.
that.
That's him. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's
a
iconic.
legend, dude.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
He's
wow.
in everything. I didn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is that good of an actor.
Didn't
Yeah.
what's his name? The Marty Supreme guy.
The
I forgot his
Timothy?
name. Timothy. He said something on that show that kind of like
About
made-
ballet and opera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I
Did you see
thought-
Doja Cat took back her criticism
Of
Mhm.
what?
of Timothy?
She took it back.
What did she
Yeah.
say?
She said something about how she was basically like clout chasing.
Oh.
Let's see.
I thought she was. I didn't watch it. I watched the first one when she was going in on him about
Yeah.
it. But I thought that the second one was her being like, oh, I was just fucking around. Like,
Oh,
I can see why people are upset because it's kind of is offensive, obviously. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, I'm like, it's just a time and place for things. I guess
Yeah.
like certain
Well,
opinions you could
yeah.
keep to
Well, I
yourself
think-
in that way.
yeah, I think the criticism has been that
Oh, yeah.
because he's in like an art, in an
Yeah,
art
you're not
form, and you're kind of criticizing a whole different art form that's been around for such a long time
Yeah.
too. That
Decades.
it's just very disrespectful when you're in sort of that field. But I think for him, I think he's been doing that for forever. But it
Mhm.
wasn't until now that it actually got
Yeah.
even more traction because
Yeah.
he's always been a hater for like ballet and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently he had said the same statement in 2019 or something about
Oh,
like
so now
ballet and
the
opera.
eyes are more on him.
It's 'cause the
like,
Oscars
Yeah,
is
yeah,
coming
that-
out.
Yeah.
that
So
makes sense.
There was a theory saying that Michael B. Jordan's PR team was the one who really honed in and made that story blow up, so that way he would lose even more
Mhm.
of the chances to win the Oscar. But that's just like a theory.
I
do you,
wanna-
genuine question? Do you think it is deep like that? Like, do you think the PR teams really do like?
Yes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I have
Like,
totally.
nah, fuck this guy.
My best friend is in PR,
Mm.
and it is really
It
that
is
deep.
like that?
It really is that deep. She does
That's
amazing
crazy.
work. Shout out to Zanisha, but like she does amazing work. So it's just like, yeah, it's really that
I
deep.
wish we had a PR team.
Right?
Bro,
I
what
wish I
makes
had
you
a free
think
bag of chips.
if for something like
Our
entertainment
email
wise,
is
is like so like that deep that you already know that then the government is like really honing in on
Yeah.
that shit. Like for sure, a lot of the shit you say
Everything-
is fake.
Everything is that deep. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think everything really is that deep.
No, it is. Yeah. Well, that's why like whoever wins today, even then, it's gonna set the world on fire.
Yeah.
Because if Michael B. Jordan wins, you already know all the races are gonna be like most overrated movie of all time, most overrated like.
You know,
Which
what's
is crazy to say.
What's crazy is I really don't get the hype of like wanting Timothy to win.
Did you watch Marty Supreme?
No,
Did you watch Marty Supreme?
no.
but here's the thing.
Only
here's the
one
thing.
person in this room watched Marty Supreme.
But here's the thing.
That's
here's
why
the thing.
that should tell you a lot.
But it's not because it's like it's not in the
I
sense
just
of
don't like Timothy.
it's not in the sense of like I'm like oh he didn't do a good job or anything. It's just more like I don't feel like the hype. Do you remember when DiCaprio? There was a long time where I was like oh when's DiCaprio gonna get his ring?
Mhm.
And I felt that hype. I don't feel
Yeah.
that for Timothy. He's been in the
Mhm.
Well, he's
game
still
like
young. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
still
so I'm
young.
like,
You
I
still
don't-
have so much
I
opportunity.
don't really feel the hype where Michael B. Jordan. Nah, he's been in the game for a
Since
while.
a child.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how did you guys feel about when like, because people say it's like confidence, and other people say that it's him being cocky, where he's
Oh,
like,
the
he brings
speech?
up of like,
Oh, he wants to
really
be the Michael
young,
Jordan of.
yeah. what do you
I thought
guys
it was
think
cool.
about that?
I
No, I like
but
the way he carries himself when
yeah.
he speaks.
I think I like anything that's anti-nonchalant.
Yes.
I think I like people with passion.
Yes.
Like, I like people who genuinely give a fuck about their arts. Like Wemby.
Yes.
Like someone who cries over a regular season game. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Coming
But
back
then,
for
but then, how
25.
do you feel about like that? That he's somebody who I guess cares about his I guess craft, but then
Mhm.
he's over here criticizing other people's crafts.
I guess it's like, I mean, it's his own craft that he seems to care more about, which I understand. It'd be like, I guess, same thing like if a basketball player talks shit about football or soccer.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand he shouldn't be doing that, but it's like, it isn't exactly hypocritical because it's his own, like, spear.
Yeah. And especially when you already know like your own thing, it's easy
Yeah.
for you to talk more about that. So
Yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah.
that point.
I also think, like, confidence and arrogance is a very, like, bad, like a dance almost. Like, I think confidence and arrogance kind of do go hand in hand a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Where it's like being confident, like even us, like aside from this, like the arts and like movies and stuff, like even being confident in yourself is a form of arrogance sometimes. It's like
Mhm.
people will tell you like your fit is trash. Be like, well, I think this shit's cool and I feel cool in it. So
I think-
it's confidence and arrogance at the same time.
I agree, and I think people in like society they're trying to force you to be so humble in a way that is like you don't even get to see your own power. I don't like
Mhm.
that shit. I think people should be able to talk their shit,
Mhm.
and I don't think there's anything wrong with talking your shit because the world is conditioned to show you that you're not who you think you are, and try to tell you how to live. So I think it's really important if people. I love when people know who they are and they stand in that.
I was just kind of
Real.
surprised. So I understand people being mad about what he said about opera and ballet, right? That's its own thing. With the whole like, I'm trying to be the Michael Jordan of actors. I don't care. Like, I feel like I was surprised that got as big of a reaction as it did. You know what I mean?
Like, why wouldn't you want to be the best?
Yeah, I don't know. I was
True.
just like, unless it is that deep, I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
not seeing that. There's like something I didn't see. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Like,
No, I get what you
they're
mean.
like, no,
yeah.
no, no, it's because this, that. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, my bad. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
I
Mhm.
feel like it I respected it in the beginning, but then I think after the comment is where it kind of changed. Where I don't know, I think personally for me it feels like sometimes like I feel like he cares more about the fame than the actual art sometimes. Where like that's just how it feels like, where he's just more of like, well, I'm this, like he got a big head at this point.
Oh.
Like he's not really caring about the craft
He
as
really
much
thinks he's
anymore.
Lisan Al Gaib. Yeah.
You know he's a rapper too, right?
Yeah.
People, they did.
They
I don't know.
thought they said he was.
It was
I
a
don't know.
skit. No, it was for a
Skitty Kid or
skit.
whatever those names.
They said Eski. What's his name? They said supposedly they did a video together that it's not him.
Yeah.
That it's not. It's they just look alike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he
So,
did a skit, no,
um,
on like SNL or
Yeah.
something.
I think he can rap. Like he has the ability to do it, but I don't think he's a rapper.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh wow, well put.
Yeah.
But I guess moving on a little bit more. I don't know. This isn't. I feel like weirdly enough, this relates in a way. I don't know why. I don't even know how. But recently, I saw this post from our own TikTok page. It came up, and I thought it was super interesting from the New Feminist magazine. This journalist did a deep dive into the Manosphere, and he came off with a lot of like interesting takeaways that I felt like I had to share because I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of my perspective, because I'm a dude, or if like I just like feel like it's something of value for people who have seen this. Because everybody, I think, has been exposed to red pill media. You know, like the Andrew Tate and the like Fresh and Fit and all that
Nonsense.
Bullshit.
nonsense. And I wanted to share it because I thought there was a lot of key takeaways. So shout out to the New Feminist magazine on Instagram who did a slideshow of the key takeaways of the documentary. I recommend checking it out. Obviously, if you're interested in that, maybe watch that first and then come back to this. But there was some interesting stuff. I'll bring up one of the ones that I thought is this: the Manosphere tells men that they don't deserve happiness. Two fans of influencer Justin Waller say it plainly on camera. And I quote, "Men aren't supposed to be happy. The ideology teaches men they have no intrinsic value, only what they can earn in wealth and power. They're pushed to strive for a lifestyle accessible to the rare 1%. For the vast majority of people watching, it's simply not going to happen." Which is interesting because I'm like, I guess like you wouldn't think from the outside looking in on the Manosphere that it is teaching men that they shouldn't be happy, right? You would think it's teaching like, I guess like arrogance. I think that's what I think
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of it is like, because people will use Marty Supreme, the character, as like, oh, you see, like you gotta not care about anybody else and just succeeding.
Yeah.
But really, like people don't understand that the film isn't teaching that. It's like saying that that's like what's wrong and intrinsically wrong. And I think in that way, it also relates to the Manosphere of like, except in a much less subtle way, it's teaching men to basically like you only are worthy of living if you have success and wealth, which I think is paradoxical because, like you said, that's the 1%.
Mhm.
Nobody watching is
Yeah.
gonna be able to actually have that success.
Is that also in the movie?
What the Marty Supreme? What?
Yeah. Like, is that like that idea of like
Like those themes.
Like those themes,
Yeah.
yeah. It's in the theme in the same way that like Scarface is, where it's like a story of someone who has a desire to have power, but in order to obtain that power, they kind of shred all their personal human connections, and in that way, they continue to spiral until their life becomes a mess. So yeah, those themes, those themes are in the movie. The second thing that I thought was super interesting, like probably one of the most interesting things of this deep dive, investigative like in like journalists into the Manosphere is that the daddy issues run deep. Every single creator featured had an absent or abusive father. These are the same men who make careers out of mocking fatherless behavior. Sullivan literally made content confronting his estranged dad on camera while claiming he had no hard feelings. All this hypermasculinity is a coping mechanism for their internalized sense of rejection. Frankly, that is so fucking lame. That's what they wrote.
I wonder, did they have anything about mommy issues? Because when I think of it, I think for their hate for women, it would be a lot of mommy issues too.
You see, that's what I find interesting.
Yeah.
I guess is
I think that because like I don't know. I think it's like the slide previously that you read about what was it? It was
the
about
Manosphere
how
teaches you not to be
they
happy?
don't deserve happiness and how like you're only valuable if you succeed. I've heard them say that, but I've heard them say that in the way of they'll be like women think that. Or they'll be like, women only want you if you're successful, if you have money, XYZ.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I think that they use women as like a scapegoat. Because I really don't think you'd be able to recruit men to like a men only club if you're shitting on men, which are the real problem, right? Yeah.
Well, I also feel like I think, and I don't know how true this is, but I feel like at some point they kind of get mad at their own mom because they're like, dad left because of you.
Yeah.
And like, you're the problem, and that's why he left. It wasn't
Exactly.
me or anything else. Like, the reason that he's here or he's like abusive or whatever is because you're not being the woman in the house. You're not cooking. You're not cleaning. Because for the most part, in an abusive relationship, it's like, I don't know, the man is mad that you didn't do some shit. Like, the woman didn't do something for him, and he like does horrible shit to her. Like, or just like that he's not there, and like the guy probably is like, well, dad left because you didn't do this and that.
It's like they have animosity for the parent that stayed instead of animosity towards the parent that left.
Well, the thing that I guess like conclude from this is more of like, I think that they do have a lot of animosity for the parent who stayed or is abusive, the dad, but that it's kind of been like subconscious to where I was breaking it down with a homie because I was telling him about how like I find it really interesting that most of these guys who are red pill media guys had abusive or absent fathers, because I think subliminally it teaches you that like the first man that you trust in your life is your dad, and if your dad is somebody that you can't rely on, then you'll always see men as the enemy, and so you'll always have that internalized idea. And so I think that's what these guys really like feel, is they feel as though men are the enemy and therefore I am the enemy, and then therefore like all this other bullshit about how like I don't deserve happiness and neither do other men. Like we're all stupid and that's why I gotta exploit these guys.
Subconsciously.
Yeah,
not like actually thinking that way, but like subconsciously deep down, that's how they truly feel inadequate. So that's how they that makes sense.
I like what you said though, because I do think that's true too. And I think like if your mother's the only one who stayed, then therefore they're the only person you can blame. Like,
They see them every day. It's a reminder or whatever. And it's like they don't respect women because of that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, especially if they're in an abusive like relationship with their husband, I would assume that the boy is like, well, my mom doesn't even respect herself to leave the guy. Like, so then no woman respects herself, like, ever. So then I think that's where the disrespect kind of continues on. Again, I think it is more like they're not aware of it. That's just something that they kind of internalize and hold on to that kind of goes with them in their adulthood. Where they're like, women don't respect themselves.
So
like,
why should I?
Yeah, I agree. I moving on to another slide. I don't know, like, even when I read this, I don't know, like, where this fits. Like, I don't know why it's this way. But one of the things that he also found out is that they're all anti-Semitic conspiracy theorists, which I think is really interesting. And I have seen on clips, like the little exposure I've seen of like red pill media, is that they will say something anti-Semitic. I wonder where that comes from. But anyways, it goes on to say, creator Sneeko, a vocal Trump supporter, believes Jewish people control the world and that chemicals and water supplies are making people transgender. He is not alone. Clips of Sullivan, the Tate brothers, and others express violently anti-Semitic sentiment appeared throughout. When Thorax, I guess that's his name, challenges Sullivan on publicly shouting death to Jews, Sullivan says it doesn't make him anti-Semitic, then he storms off camera. I don't know. I wonder, because that is true. I've seen that. A lot of those guys are super anti-Semitic, super like conspiracy theories of like Jews control the media and Jews control the world. I wonder what like the correlation is there to the Manosphere. Like, why is it?
Why
Do you
is it a pipeline? You mean?
Yeah. Like, do you think it's because, like, they feel powerless and therefore they have to, like...
Find something to blame.
Yeah, exactly, right? I just want, like, we don't have to spend too much time on this slide because it's kind of, like, the most, I guess, like...
Well, I think
To me, it feels like the most random one.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just a weird, I guess, like, little...
Connection.
Well, I think
Connection.
I think hate is like a like I think if you're hateful to one group of people, it's extremely easy to be hateful to pretty much every other group of people. So I think there's obviously that. That's probably why there's a piece of their anti-Semitism. But I also think there's also, when it comes to like the manosphere, there's this also like really huge lack of critical thinking and analysis.
Oh, no, yeah,
and I
for sure.
think like, cause I think the analysis of like, men, you're only valuable if you
Have
earn
wealth.
and you have wealth,
Or status.
or like all these things about the way society is, or like escaping the matrix. To really buy into that, I feel like you have to have like a really huge lack of critical thinking. And
For sure.
like, because it's just not true. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we've talked about it forever about how like you're not gonna become a billionaire. Like, it's just statistically not probable. Like, you're
Yeah.
not gonna do that. And
Ethically.
I think when it comes to like conspiracy theories, a lot of them also the same thing, where it's like there's a lot of
I
lack
see.
of critical thinking.
It's
as
like
well.
predatory in a way.
Yeah.
It's taking advantage of people who are...
Because to me,
guess
if
vulnerable
I
to
think
that
about
type
it,
of
if
stuff.
you believe a really stupid ass conspiracy theory like the Earth is flat,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna buy into this bullshit too, right?
True.
Like, you're more likely
That's
to
true.
buy. So I don't know if it's like
Yeah.
one, like the manosphere leads you, or I don't know. I think it's more like correlation.
It's
where
like overlap, kind of.
yeah, where it's like, I think if you're dumb enough
I
to
see.
buy that, you're dumb enough to buy this. You
That
know what I
makes
mean?
sense. That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. This is another slide. They said that another key highlight is attention is an asset in the manosphere. In a digital world where attention is currency, these men will do anything to draw more eyes towards them. Sullivan openly calls his own inflammatory behavior clip farming, spreading violent and hateful sentiment to impressionable young men, echoing fascist viewpoints, acts of physical violence against members of the public caught on camera. That one's like I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're kind of saying things to rage bait people
Yeah.
into getting more attention,
Just for clicks and views and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
which relates to the next key point, which is they said this themselves. We already knew this, but the manosphere is one big grift. Do you guys know what grift is?
No, explain it.
You know what grift is, Julie?
Yeah.
Do you know what grift is, Brendan?
Damn.
It's basically just the.
It's okay.
I barely
okay.
know what it is,
It's
honestly.
okay.
Like, I've heard people say it, but I think I misinterpreted it until I read this. Where it's basically just like pretending to believe in something in order to make profit off of it from people who actually do believe that. Right? Would you say that's an accurate
Yeah.
definition? So he goes on to say Waller funnels followers towards the Tate's Brothers e-learning platform at $50 a month. Sullivan promotes an investment service to his followers. Thorax puts 500 pounds in following the advice and lost nearly all of it. They capitalize on hopelessness, convince men that women are the problem, and then charge them to fix it. One big, ugly, hateful pyramid scheme. So it just goes on to say that like these guys like are just taking advantage of men. Like that everything you see, all that Andrew Tate, like Myron and all that bullshit, like it's just a scheme to get people to get those men specifically, not even like us who like are just like that's dumb, but the people who actually believe in it, the people who think that these guys are your friends, they're just using them for money.
Yeah.
And like they said, right, we already knew that, but like I guess to point blank like read it from somebody who investigated them is kind of crazy. And then they ended off with this quote that I think is really interesting. Their hatred of women is obvious and blatant, but their hatred and exploitation of men is the most eye-opening lesson that Inside the Manosphere teaches us. But yeah, he did like a whole article and he even did a documentary. I recommend. I even skipped over some of the slides, so if anybody finds it interesting, go to the feministmagazine.com. They have an entire deep dive into it. I found it really interesting because I think it is eye-opening in a lot of sense. I think maybe for me, because I'm a man, because I think I always thought of them as like they're ignorant and they hate women and they love men. But really, all these guys who are the leaders of this movement, quote unquote movement, hate men.
And
like
hate themselves.
hate themselves. Like hate them with such a passion that they try to actively keep them miserable. And I guess it's eye opening to me because it's not even like oh, it's not that popular, or like people aren't even like listening to these guys, because I know I don't, and I know my homies don't. But I see people on social media like that stuff or repost that stuff, or like see that shit has like 500,000 likes or 1,000,000 likes, you know? And it's like, I guess I think it's important to bring it up because it really shows you that the people who are actively leading that movement, one, have an insane amount of trauma that just is like being taken out on innocent people. Two, is completely predatory to young impressionable men, because like at least if you're an adult, like you should know better. Like, but to the young impressionable men, it's very easy to be influenced, and so it sucks that like they think that they're doing this in order to become better men, but they're really being targeted by the same men that apparently like I don't know, they like look down upon, right? And then three, I think they worded it really well. Like their hatred of women is obvious, but I think their hatred of men is eye opening. Like wow, like that's fucking crazy.
I think the narrative that they push, it just like kind of emphasizes the fact that they don't want connection, true connection. So then it ends up making them more miserable, because like you're living in a world that's only wrapped around you and your things, and you're not really actually seeing the true blessing of connecting with people. So like you're not going to have any real connections with anybody in your life, not friends, not family, not loved ones. So it's like continuing that whole like shit. So that's so insane.
Yeah, I just feel like it just sucks for the young men who are in this very vulnerable state, who kind of like fall for those things. Yeah, because it sucks that that's who they're kind of like preying on.
Yeah, and it's most likely men who have terrible relationships with their dads. Which sucks
because it really just continues like the cycle of
literally
like,
a cycle.
I guess it makes sense, because I feel like if you don't have, like, I think your parents for the most part are your example of what a person should be, right? Like that's where you get your first idea of like your mom. This is what my first idea of what a woman is. Yeah. My dad is my first idea of what a man is. If you don't have a dad, it's very easy to plug in this is what a man should be. Because if you don't have a dad, you're like, oh, I mean, I guess I don't have anything to disprove that. Yeah. You know, but if you did have a present father, you're like, oh, my dad wasn't like that though, and I thought he was pretty cool. You know?
Or like your dad will talk some sense into you and be like, that's just not how it is, or that's not how you should be.
Or that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
or even a grandpa.
Yeah, I think
even a grandpa.
Yeah, I think just having somebody like a grown
start family maxing.
Like you guys should mentor like kids.
Well, it's a trip, because I was telling Brandon, because I was bringing this up before we did the show about how I wanted to talk about it, and it tripped me out because I've thought about this for a while, and I was like, how didn't me and Brandon fall into that like Manosphere propaganda, especially because when it really blew up in 2016, you and me were impressionable young men. We were in high school.
15.
Yeah, we were in high school. And so when I read this, I made the revelation of like, it's because me and Brandon have always had a really loving, close relationship with our dads. And I was telling him, like, dude, when me and Brandon were kids, we literally would have those type of like funny ass kids. Like my dad could beat up your dad. We would talk about our dads all the time. Like that was one thing that me and Brandon always related to. It's kind of our admiration to our father. And I guess it trips me up to read that, because like I'm like, damn, so like that's literally like the cure for a lot of these men, is the fact that they've have, in a weird way, I guess, internalized, like, what's the word? Like misandry? Like, I don't even know what the word is.
But also you guys have like good representation of men in your life. Yeah. So you can have a father figure and they could still be a terrible father figure.
You think so?
Yes.
I think you have a close relationship with your dad and him be a bad guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? I think so, yeah. Do you think that that's also based off like who you surround yourself to?
I do. What do you mean? I think obviously your father plays a big role. Yeah. Like there's no denying that. But I do think it isn't, for me at least, my analysis of it is I do remember getting exposed to those things. I do remember taking some of it in and being like, oh, I guess. But I remember a lot of what pulled me away from it was my peers. Like I remember I was lucky enough to have women around me who would be like, that's really stupid. Yeah. Or male teachers around me who were like, that's really stupid. Or people in the communities that were affected by this stuff who would be like, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think your peers as well play a really, really important.
Yeah. Well, because I was going to say that, like, I feel like there's sometimes where I see a friend who kind of is falling into that, but usually their homies are like, bro, that's stupid. Like, why would you believe in that? Like, and it kind of just helps them kind of understand a little bit more, even though they're like, parents were a little absent. Like, I feel like their friends kind of saved them from like falling into that.
It takes a village to raise.
I do really agree with that. I think your entire surrounding has to in some way be, because I think it could be like, because I guess the way I see it is like, I can see like a situation where you're like, you believe that and you're like, but my dad don't know, like, you know, because I think I've seen people do that where they're like, nah, I feel
but that's what I mean. But that's because they don't have an actual connection to their father.
But I think you can have a close relationship with your parents and still disagree with them or not necessarily listen to them, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard. I feel like maybe it's just because of like what I've experienced. But to me, like the idea of like someone having a father who's a bad person will never have the same connection as somebody who has a father who is a good person.
I think the connection part might be lost if you have a bad person as a father, but like say this, you idolize your father in a way because he is still providing, he's still, you know, financially providing for the family, but he's a terrible person. You know, he has this like, you know, macho man type of mentality. So then you kind of replicate that in your life, that you become exactly like the person who, you know, raised you.
Because I think that's true. I see a lot of, especially in the Latino community, where it's like there's a lot of people who are really close with their dads, but their dads are really machismo.
Yeah.
Or they're machista, right?
Yeah.
True. And I've also known those guys and been like, I don't agree with that. Like, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
I think it's about growing up and like seeing.
Because I think to a certain degree, you have to get to a certain age to where you can be like, all right, I can kind of see that you're maybe a bad person, and I can sever that a little bit.
Like thinking for yourself.
You know what I mean? And that's why I think like peers play such an important role in terms of like, you know, shaping how you think.
Yeah.
Because I really think like, I don't know. I feel like that's true. I agree that, you know, you obviously need your dad, but I think if you had like a group of friends who really did believe all that, I think I think a lot of people would be surprised how quickly they'd be like, I guess, like,
or if you had a friend who dad has like a really, you know, different perspective or different way of going about things than your dad, and you're kind of like, oh, actually, I respect my friend, so he's a good person. Let me see, you know, kind of like it kind of like correlates in that way. That will change your perspective.
Because you know what it makes me think about is that since we've been doing like the podcast and social media for a while now, I remember we would talk about, I can't even say the exact topic we're talking about, but we'll talk about something where it's like basically like men shouldn't be pieces of shit basically. And somebody in the comments will be like, man, like I bet you his dad is so disappointed in him, or so like try to insult me by saying something about my dad.
I do remember those things. Yeah.
Right. And it always makes me laugh because I'm like, my dad is literally super proud of me, super nice, like super like cool with me. And so it kind of like correlates in that sense of like, those guys are projecting because they don't have good relationships with their fathers. Yeah. And
exactly.
So, I don't know. It's funny to me to find out, and I'm sure maybe it was always obvious, that the Manosphere is just one big, long daddy issues, or the whole mantra of fatherless behavior. Like, that's literally
it's all just been projection.
Yeah.
It's all just
and
been
a
projection. Of like, because I mean, that's what they also say about like women, right? Where they're like, oh, they'll be on some like some shit because they're like they had an absent father or whatever. But I think all those times that they were talking about that, it was projection.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it was obvious for most people, but I guess it's, to me, to see, I guess, like an actual like documentary, I think is cool.
No, yeah. I think to actually fully see it, it's like for sure a lot more revealing of like, okay, then that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. I guess because it's different to think that, and then to have somebody actually like interview these guys and be like, damn, these guys are full of fucking shit. You know what I mean?
I have proof too.
I wonder what the actual like solution to it though is. Like, because I think
dad?
No, well, because I think that there's a lot of people who probably are lost causes, so to speak.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, there's nothing that anybody could say to you that's going to change your mind at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're stuck in your ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say it's because they say George Bush caused this because of STEM.
The first one?
Them?
The first
George
Bush.
W.
Oh,
George
okay.
W.
Mhm.
Because I've seen it. People talk about it. How when schools started prioritizing science and math, they deprioritized history and what's the other? I'm blanking.
Arts.
Language arts
Oh,
or
language.
languages and stuff like that, or liberal arts. And a lot of people think, oh, well, liberal arts, da, da, da. But history is liberal art.
Yeah.
But that is crucial because that's where you learn critical thinking.
Mhm.
That's where you learn about propaganda. That's how you learn how to read statements with fallacies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then because they phase that out, a lot of people didn't get that, and they only got science and math, which of course is important.
Yeah.
But you do also need the ability to, because if you like, let's say you
Comprehend.
grew up just knowing history, you'd probably be able to be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Or like if you knew the history of even the moon landing, a lot of people probably didn't even know the history of the moon
Yeah.
landing or the history of certain things, and I think that's really important as well. You know, they also say what else? Because I think it was George Bush who started No Child Left Behind,
Uh-huh.
which is where you would move
Oh,
up
yeah.
even if you weren't ready.
Mhm.
And I've seen people say how that's a bad principle. It sounds like good, but it's like you're pushing someone through who doesn't have a grasp of the material, which is in the long term very bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess the like solution is
The education.
Leave some
system.
children
it starts in the
behind.
schools. Well, if you think about it, they attack it a lot.
No,
like,
yeah.
in the administration, they
Please,
attack.
Bro, I literally kept thinking about that, where it was the education system, and I kept thinking about like why they push so much on like even like women having children,
Yeah.
where it's like, well, the men have the option to just be gone, you know,
Mhm.
and it still creates that cycle of like the absent father. Because I'm like, at this point, they're forcing people to not only have kids that they don't want, which causes even more
Keeps
absent
you in poverty.
of like kids not having parents at all, because like nobody really wants to like have them, and so then they kind of just like leave
I
them.
think if you're below the poverty line and you have a kid, you're probably never gonna escape.
yeah.
And I think if
sure.
you don't have the resources to, or know about the resources, or if the state eliminates the resources for you to make the decision about your own body,
Yeah,
then you're kind of trapped, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you can't do anything about that.
it's crazy.
What's
It is.
that?
It is that deep, bro.
I found this comment on this like little key takeaways of the Manosphere
Mhm.
really interesting. It's by some woman named Robin. She said, "I watched this yesterday. It's quite disturbing, and the man that Lewis, I assume Lewis is the investigator, interviewed had absolutely no understanding that Lewis is far more masculine than they are. They associate being manly with muscle building and control of others. They seem to have no ability to self-reflect and to recognize that their behavior most likely stems from unresolved trauma in their younger years.
Yeah.
Lewis showed maturity, courage, and compassion, and his maturity shone through. I think it's an important watch for parents." So-
Okay, Robin.
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
saw
really cool.
I saw this other video. I think it was actually a really deep comment. You know, you ever see those comments where
Yeah,
it's like
hell yeah.
where it's like I don't think this was meant to be that deep, but it
Yeah.
became really deep. It was this video of New York where you know that program of Zora I think it was New York, Zora Mamdani, where you can move snow
Yeah.
and you get paid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this was past that, and there was like this giant puddle of ice and water stuck because of the snow, and it couldn't drain, and it was causing like traffic jams and
Yeah.
people. And this guy was like, I mean, I'm free today, so he just did it himself. And it was just a really nice thing that he did. Like he just recorded, like, you know, like he was educating about the drainage systems in the city of how important they are, because if they don't have them, then the streets
Yeah.
get flooded.
Yeah.
And all the comments were like, "Oh, this is really cool." But the top comment was like, "The people yearn for community," and I was like, I actually think that's a really deep comment,
And we're
because
losing
Yeah.
that.
because I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
what you're saying about how it takes a village.
Mhm.
I think if there was an absent father and you had a strong community,
Mhm.
you can, I don't know, learn to like self-heal that, find a
Yeah.
father
Mhm.
figure, or
Exactly.
like build your own kind
Yeah.
of, you
well,
know.
Exactly.
it's kind of like those things where you would see it in movies, where it's like the neighborhood coming together and like
Yeah.
hanging out at somebody's house, and like there was like that dad who would like give all those education like lessons
Like
and
in
stuff.
Is it
like in,
fucking Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
he's
like,
like,
it's called
Lawrence Fishburne?
gentrification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, right?
The
Where
people
it's
yearn
like
for community,
where it's
man.
You
like
gotta
there's
keep
that
everything
sort of
black.
like community
Yes.
and like union within just like your own neighbors, right?
Yeah.
And like we've talked about it,
Awesome.
where it's like protect your neighbors, right? Like be there for them. But I think and I think it's also rooted in like what happened during COVID, where we were all kind of like
Every man for
isolated in our
himself.
own houses,
Yes.
and And it was very much like you shouldn't have contact with
Conspiracy.
anybody other than whoever's in your house,
That's the
right?
real
'Cause-
reason.
or else you're gonna get
Every
sick.
man for
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a good
the
point.
So I
pandemic.
think a lot of that, and then I think, of course, like even more of people didn't go to school anymore, so there wasn't that sense of community anymore
Ugh.
within just wherever you were going.
That actually
I
is so
think-
scary to think about.
Yeah.
Like those people who are in like terrible homes that couldn't
Leave.
leave.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
school
poor
was their only
things.
escape beforehand. Oh, I think about that randomly sometimes, and I get so sad.
Yeah,
That probably was so
It's
traumatizing.
a big
Yeah.
thing.
It
'cause
really
for some
is.
kids, their only meal is the meal at school.
Yeah,
you know?
the only escape is going to
is
school,
going to
seeing
school,
friends,
or like
seeing
their
some-
only healthy adult is their teacher,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
sucks because the teachers aren't supposed to be like that. Isn't their job to be
Yeah.
a parent? They're educators, but that's what they have to become
me sad.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
But yeah.
a trip.
I
but
think
yeah.
that's why it's really important who you're surrounded by, honestly.
The community,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
yearn for community.
yeah. People yearn for community.
But
guys.
also
Yeah.
talking
That's
about
where
the
Uh-huh.
the snow thing, I showed Stevie, but there was a video of this girl who was like walking in New York, and she's like, I have to walk to work. And then she's like, Mom, Donnie really did this shit.
Oh,
And she starts
yeah.
crying, and she's like she's like bawling. She's like, you guys have no idea how long it would take me to walk to work. And after he did this program, like, Mom, Donnie really did that shit. And she's just like crying.
Yeah,
and
she's
I'm
like crying.
Why? Because of the shoveling.
Because
thing?
of the
It cut-
shoveling,
it cut-
because
it cut it down.
Yeah, because people, I guess, because people really
Because
like,
people yearn for community.
yeah, because people really appreciated the fact that he
He paid.
he paid people to do it, and it really
It
cleared
actually worked
for
yeah.
for people to drive to work, to walk to places, and like, and this person was very much like passionate and thankful
really
that he
did
did
that
that. Yeah, he's like, he really did that shit.
But yeah, that's where I'll leave off this segment. It's all just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, we already knew that, but I guess it's deep. Everything is that deep, right?
Everything is that
It's
deep.
deep. It's deep. Be a good father,
Mhm.
guys. And be a good. Be
Be a
a
good
good.
person.
Be a good
Oh.
person.
Yeah, literally.
Be a good person. Yeah.
Be a good person.
Yeah.
Watch
honestly.
Spider-Man or something instead of Marty
Oh
Supreme.
my hug your
Instead
loved
of-
ones, guys.
Yeah.
I still don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I really don't get. That's something I really want like a study done on.
Mhm.
On what?
There's so many movies that people like really enjoy, like Spider-Man or what's another like positive male Superman, whatever the fuck. And people like love Spider-Man and shit like that. And like, how come you don't internalize that one, but you internalize
How about they go
fucking
back and tell like
Marty
immigrants?
Supreme or Wolf of Wall Street, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's me.
Or like the
Mm.
lesson will actually fly over their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, how come the Spider-Man movie doesn't like you don't inherit
I-
that one, but you
yeah.
inherit the Wolf of
Mm.
Wall Street one?
Yeah,
Like
'cause-
why?
Because I remember I talked about this, where I think it's a big red flag depending on why they like it. But if they like Scarface, if somebody's favorite movie is Scarface, I think it's a big red flag for a lot of dudes. Because a lot of dudes think that Tony Montana is a role model, when the movie is literally teaching you that he isn't.
Yeah.
That everything that he could have had, he lost because he was so obsessed with money and power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when they talk about Joker. They're like, Joker was
I'm
right.
just so confused. Why? But why that's only a problem with those type of movies? Like,
Yeah.
why do people internalize those ones so heavily?
Or maybe not. Maybe people do internalize Spider-Man, but it's a lot more subtle.
Oh, they're just quiet about it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the quiet hero, like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Ah.
exactly. 'Cause you see how Spider-
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. And this is how we go straight into Janel's segment.
Yeah. So I bought some history about women who probably got lost in history in a way. So the
Mhm.
things that they've done that we probably forgot about. So I have like about 6 women I want to talk about really quickly.
Ooh, let's go.
So the first one is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. I really did try to look it up. So Gwan-sun, she was the Korean woman who started an anti-colonial movement at 16 years old. She helped organize protests against Japanese colonial rule in Korea. She became a key figure in the March 1st movement, one of Korea's largest independent protests. She was arrested and tortured by colonial authorities, and she died in prison at 17 years old because of that. But she became a national symbol of resistance in Korea. So a lot of people don't even know about her. I didn't know about her. I've never heard of her. So I thought that was really interesting that she was so young and so passionate, and she was able to go through some terrible things, but she came out in a way that like people remember her very deeply and respect what she did, especially at such a young age.
Yeah.
The next one is Sylvia Rivera. She was a Latina activist at the center of the LGBTQ plus rights movement. I always get that shit fucked up. The LGBTQ rights movement. She was born July 2nd, 1951 in New York. She was Puerto Rican and Venezuela.
Oh, wow.
her dad abandoned the family. Her mom committed suicide at a very young age.
Oh shit.
And that she ended up living with her grandma. And she was pretty much like growing up, she was transgender. So she was dressing and wearing makeup at a young age. Grandma did not approve of that. So she left home at 10 years old and she was on the streets homeless for most of her life. Yeah. She was taken in by the local drag queens, in particular Marsha P. Johnson, who's a really well-known drag queen. And that kind of like, they became best friends. She took her under her wing and they just like grew up together in a way. And she became a protector and a close friend. She was present during the Stonewall Uprising, a pivotal movement in the LGBTQ rights history. She helped create organizations supporting homeless queer youth because that's something she experienced. So she helped with Marsha P. Johnson. She co-founded the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionary STAR, a group dedicated to helping homeless young drag queens, gay youth, and trans women. Her later years, she kind of became more fluid in her sexuality and orientation. She talked about how like she doesn't like to be labeled anything. Like she's just Sylvia Rivera. She left home when she was 10 as Ray Rivera, but when she left, she became Sylvia.
Wow.
I always remember learning about them, both Marsha and Sylvia.
I learned about Marsha. I've never heard about Sylvia. And I think that was it was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know about this. So
yeah, I had learned about them because, they did like the Stonewall movement. And that's why they say that a lot of the transgender movement is based off like the black and brown women who actually like fought for their rights.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do forget about Sylvia though.
And it's also so crazy. Like at 10 years old, you're on the streets in New York with nothing on. Like at 10. At 10.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Some people are just so resilient, dude.
Man, like I don't.
Like, I think about shit like that. I'm like, fuck.
10 years old is crazy.
I couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
I used to pretend to leave home, but I come right back. I was like 10. That was crazy. Bessie Coleman was the first black woman pilot who had to leave U.S. She was born January 26, 1892 in Atlanta, Texas. She was 10 of 13 kids. She worked in cotton fields as a young kid as her family were sharecroppers. She could not go to U.S. flight school because she was a black woman. She was a woman, so she had to go all the way to France where she learned French and she earned her pilot license. She actually died in a plane crash when she was 34. The crazy part about it is that like the mechanic who was like preparing, because she was in like air shows, she was like really known for being like those air shows that are like really crazy. She was known as Queen Bess and Brave Bessie, and her mechanic had to drive the plane that they both ended up passing away in from Dallas, Texas, and that he had to stop 3 times. And they told her about this, and she was just kind of like, no, we're still going to go ahead and move forward with it. And she ended up passing away in that plane crash, her and the mechanic.
Oh wow.
But it was also because I think it was a wrench that was stuck in the controls that caused that. So that was really crazy to find out about. Alice Ball, she was the black chemist whose medical breakthrough was taken. So the crazy thing about her is she was super young when she passed away, and it was super young when she found out, like, did all these things. She was born July 24th, 1892 in Seattle, Washington. She created the first effective treatment for leprosy, which is a slow developing infection caused by this big ass word, Mycobacterium leprae, bacteria attacking skin, nerves, and respiratory tracts. She was super smart, excelled in school. She graduated from Seattle High. Then she went to University of Washington, where she earned a degree in 1912 and 1914. She was the first woman to also get her master's in 1915 at the University of Hawaii. She was also the first black woman or black person, I believe, to be an instructor at that college as well. And she came up with the method because it was like really hard to figure out how to, what is this word? Like the it's called camellargle oil. It was really hard to get it digested, and so they had to like find a way. They tried to inject it, but it would like cause lesion under the skin. They tried to digest it like orally or whatever, but it would make you sick and nauseated, so they couldn't find a way. She found a way it's called the Ball method, where you kind of like dilute it with water, I guess, and it was able to be injected. And she passed away at 24 because of like some random like research. I think it was an issue with that, and that ended up, she wasn't able to like publish her work, so some random man was like, oh no, I came up with this, and it took decades, like for her to be recognized that she was the person who came up with it.
Damn, I'm surprised they're even able to like uncover something like
yeah.
that.
The Matilda effect. Is
Yeah.
that what it's called?
What is it? Is it the Matilda effect?
Yeah, when a woman does something, but then a man takes the credit.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Could be
don't know.
wrong.
Yeah, but she died unexpectedly at 24 without publishing her work. And like I said, the scientists took over it, I think. And then, she was very young, 24 years old. It's crazy to pass away and also to have that much that you've done so far at just 24, especially during that time. This was 1819 when she was born, like 1892 when she was born. So a long time ago.
Crazy.
Wow.
We don't have inventors anymore, huh?
Yeah, we don't.
I was thinking. I mean, we do, but they're fucking
They're
evil
inventing, like,
billionaires
bombs and shit.
Yeah.
Because I think about as a kid, I remember thinking when people would ask me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" One of the popular in the Rolodex of things you could be was inventor, and I don't know. As a kid, you just
It
think
sounds
you can.
cool.
I remember I chose inventor. I even did like the whole board. I remember I drew myself.
Oh, and you were inventing like.
I was inventing the flying car.
Oh, that's true.
I remember it was a
Wow.
poster.
It's
it
the
was like me with a
year
wrench.
3000.
How's it?
Every time I think about that, I think about the flying car. Okay.
We still don't have flying cars.
We don't.
We have dumbass fucking
Just planes.
Elon self-driving cars that kill people.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Are they even self-driving at that point if they don't work?
Mm.
There was a video I saw yesterday of some guys sleeping in
I
his
was just about to
Tesla.
say that.
Did you see
they
that?
were both sleeping, right?
Yeah.
I got
They
cut
were
off by
so
a
crazy.
Waymo the other day.
Oh.
Fucking
They did.
asshole.
They're being driven by Filipinos.
Really?
Really?
That's what I heard. I mean, I heard
That's
that.
that
I
sounds.
think it is. I
That
think
sounds
it
like
is.
That sounds like
that
one of
sounds
those, like-
racist, dude.
Yeah.
No, I think it is that they're actually
No,
driven
I
by
know.
somebody
It's
else.
just just sounds like a.
It
wild
sounds
lie.
like when people are like the Jewish people control the banks.
You're saying
Sounds
the
like that.
Filipinos control the Waymos.
The Filipinos control the Waymos. And it sounds hilarious too because it sounds like a dumb conspiracy theory. The Filipinos control the Waymos, bro. Don't
Do they
trust
actually?
them.
I think so.
Yeah, let me see.
They have-
Filipinos.
So
They
they're
were-
not self-driving. It's
No.
somebody
It's like
like
somebody.
remote controlling them?
Somebody. Yeah.
Wow.
What's the point?
It
So
says
what's the point?
I know.
Waymo utilizes remote assistance agents based in the Philippines to support its autonomous robo taxis in
That's
the
crazy.
U.S.
That is crazy.
Bro, the
I'd heard
fucking-
about it. Yeah,
The fucking AI
Yeah.
thumbnails, crazy.
a month ago, Waymo admits that its autopilot is often just guys from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw like a report that came out about it.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah. So when you see a Waymo, be nice. They're actually just Filipino drivers.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
be
and
nice to them.
then the second to last one is Dolores Huerta. I think I pronounced her name right. I just
Mhm.
found out that the H is silent.
Yeah.
The woman who co-founded the farm worker movement, which a lot of people forget about. She was born April 10th, 1930 in Dawson, New Mexico. She's actually 95 years old. Will be 96 next month.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, my dear. She co-founded the National Farm Workers Association with Cesar Chavez and Gilbert Padilla. Eventually, the NFWA merged with our Agriculture Workers Organizing Community to become the United Farm Workers. She negotiated a lot of labor contracts. She is coined as the famous phrase "Si se puede." Se puede?
Sí se
Sí se
puede.
puede.
There it is. There it is. Yes, you can. Which
That was a
means
good try.
Thank you.
That was good.
Which means yes, you can. A lot of people say Cesar Chavez came up with that, but even Cesar Chavez says she did. So
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Nice.
know that.
Okay.
she was a teacher for a year, but she decided to do this work instead because she was so tired of seeing a lot of kids coming in hungry without shoes, and it was just like she felt like she can do more work with the farm workers, and it was really just I guess it was just like upsetting because she has a lot of kids. She has like 11 kids, so I'm pretty sure she was just like I can't see this every day. She joined the community service organization, which is the CSO, in 1955, where she met the founding member Fred Ross, who she used to call Loco. When she met her, she was like kind of like, oh, who is this guy? And that's where she met not only her future second husband, Ventura Huerta, but also Cesar Chavez.
Oh.
And that's where they came up together and stuff like that. She also has her own day in California, which is on her birthday. It was signed into law by California Governor Jerry Brown as a bill. And yet so many people forget her name, and they only remember Cesar Chavez, who also has a day too. I think his is on his birthday in March. Okay, the last one is Claudette Colvin. She was the teen who refused to give up her seat before Rosa Parks.
Uh-huh.
She was born September 5th, 1939 in Montgomery, Alabama. She refused to give up her bus seat to a white woman at 15 years old in March of 1955. It was a law that if a bus became so crowded that all the white seats in the front in the bus were filled to the point where white people were standing, any African American had to get up, go to the back, and the person had to stay. Also, what was pissing me off when I was looking at this, Black people could not like try on clothes in stores. They would literally have to
Wow.
like take a cardboard box and draw their shoe on the cardboard box and go to the store.
Wow.
I was
Yeah,
getting
I
livid.
did
I was
not
like,
know
what
that.
the fuck?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's
crazy.
because she was thinking
crazy.
about that when she was sitting in her chair. She had just like learned about that in school and like not learned about that in school, but she was just like, it was being talked about in school.
What year was that? Do you know?
1955.
That's just so crazy.
It's
to
so
me.
recent, and it's gonna get
Yeah.
crazy because how recent it gets crazier.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
this happened 9 months before Rosa Parks. Civil rights leader did not elevate her story in particular just because she was a dark-skinned woman. She was pregnant at 15, and she was unwed. And pretty much Rosa Parks even said if the white press got a hold of that information, they would have had a field day. They'll call her a bad girl, and her case wouldn't even have a chance. And a lot of civil rights leaders, they had to like cushion themselves, or what does that make? What is that word? Like not
I get like strategic kind of.
strategic. And I understand it, but it also is just so upsetting that had to be the way you have to go about things. And it's just so frustrating. And not only did like she had to experience that or whatever, but she was on her way to the police the police station. The police officers were making really sexual comments about her bra size. One of the police officer got in the back of the car with her, and she had to put her knees to her chest and like wrap her arms around it because she was obviously terrified. And this is not something that was uncommon because a lot of Black women during this time period were really afraid because a lot of police officers were sexually assaulting them. So, and they were getting away with it. She was a member of the NAACP. There it is. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Youth Council, where she formed a close relationship with her mentor Rosa Parks. So her and Rosa Parks were actually close. And when she was arrested, she was charged with violating segregation laws, disturbing the peace, and assaulting a police officer. She was convicted in juvenile court, but she later appealed it, and they only kept the assault charge. But that left a stain on her record, so she couldn't get a job. Mind you, she was pregnant, so she had to move to New York. And she became a key plaintiff in the Browder versus Gale case, which ended bus segregation. She was one of 4 plaintiffs.
Oh, wow.
She had her son in 1956. She recently also passed away this year, January 13th, 2026. She was a mother of 2 boys and 4 grandchildren, and she has an almost forgotten legacy. No one ever kind of like talks about her. You think of Rosa Parks, but she was 15 years old when she did this. And like, I think one of the things I want to talk about, like lastly, to wrap this up, because she did an interview in 1998 with Paul Hendrickson, and she reflected back on her protests and why she did what she did. She stated, "I was done talking about good hair and good skin, but not addressing our grievances. I was tired of adults complaining about how badly they were treated and not doing anything about it. I've had enough of feeling angry about Jeremiah Reeves, which was a classmate of hers, who had been sentenced to death in 1953 on a false charge that he had sexually assaulted a white woman. I was tired of hoping for justice. When the moment came, I was ready." And I think one of the things that really stood out about this to me personally was just like all the little small shit that you kind of forget about, and then also just how recent this is. And like we just like slavery was such a long time ago, but the shit that slavery left behind was not a long time ago. Like I talked about this before. My mama has colored on her birth certificate. Like this woman just died this year. Like it's not that far, you know?
Right.
And it's just like sometimes we forget about that because, you know, things have definitely changed, but there's still that like subtle way that racism is obviously still affecting. They found a different way to show it. And like we kind of forget about it because it's so slight and sometimes so small. But all of these women did something really important with history, and it's really kind of frustrating that we kind of forget about them or we don't know too much about them. And it was really interesting to like see like all the little small things that come up with that. So
I agree.
yeah.
Wow, really well said.
It's also there's got to be a word for interesting, but bad interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's conflicting.
I think
Yes.
it's intriguing.
You know how there's famous and then infamous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For interesting. But anyways, yeah, that's true about how like she had just passed away, but also like how we were talking about how, like the absent fathers and all that shit. Those police officers had families too, and they
Mhm.
probably pushed off their ideologies that never went unchecked. There's people
Yeah.
who were on the other side of those movements who were holding these people back, who were you know, all these things who are still around. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if there's somebody around who was like experienced that there, who's still alive. If there's somebody around who experienced racism and still alive, there's somebody around who's still alive and perpetrated that racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't go away
It
because
doesn't
the
just go
cycle
away.
is just
You know,
going.
and they-
It's
they
really.
Yeah.
And they have kids, they have families, and they're like, and people go, and that's where all those like microaggressions and all those subtle sly things show up from, you know?
All those
Yeah.
kids that are going around saying racism doesn't exist anymore, their fathers were probably the ones that were making racism.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's
Crazy.
really,
It's trip.
it's really insane and
It's a
frustrating how like it, not even just racism, but just like how women in general, like we just kind of like forget about those things and the things that, you know, kind of like affect us, I guess.
Right.
But
Yeah. I mean, it's I guess like for me, I think it's important to remember stuff like that because I think of it as almost like mental reparations,
Mhm.
where I feel like knowledge is power, like dead ass. Knowledge is power, and I feel like when you kind of like learn about the history, as even as something as recent as that, you said she died this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you learn something that was just fucking a few years, honestly, basically before you were born.
Mm-hmm.
I think it motivates you to always check people or
Yeah.
always, you know, keep that fire.
Think differently and like,
Yeah.
you know, think for
Yeah.
yourself and like want to know more and like also
Mm.
just
Yeah.
like be aware, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I just
think-
like not let shit slide. Like I
Yeah.
think as I gotten older, I'm just like, if somebody is ignorant or arrogant, or like if I go to a place, especially here in LA, there's so many of them, where it's like you could just tell it's like a white dominated area and a white dominated restaurant or shop. Like I'll never let anybody make me feel shitty about being in there because you know what, people fought long and hard for this, and you know what, and I have a right to feel uncomfortable because that shit just happened just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in feeling uncomfortable. If anything, it makes me feel empowered that I can be here and make space and make myself like feel heard. You
Yeah.
know?
And also when like I don't like when people say, especially minorities in particular, I don't vote. I hate that shit. Stop being complacent. I hate like don't if people have fought so hard. People have died for this. You should not be so like days ago about that shit. You should want to know what the hell's going on because government politics are your everyday life. You don't think it doesn't matter? It affects you. It affects you in ways that you don't even understand, and it's affecting you right now in this very moment. So like that pisses me off. That's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
Type shit.
I think
Type shit
what
for
also
real.
like interested me was how young a lot of them were.
Yeah.
Because it's like I think even the youth is very powerful, and I think people try to belittle them and like they don't know anything or like they shouldn't learn about these things, like why does it matter? But literally a good amount of them were really young and like they did so much for our communities now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just another thing that's also very important of like doubting the youth of like, no, they're also powerful in themselves and they should know. And it's cool seeing too, like in the recent time where kids are literally protesting, like leaving school to go protest for things that are happening currently. 'Cause I think that's also interesting that like people always want to say like, oh, they're too young. Like, what do they know? But it's literally like in history that people have done so much at such a young age that even themselves are
The youth
powerful.
has always been a very powerful driving force in a lot of movements.
Yeah.
You know?
For
Yeah.
sure. But yeah.
But that's all I have, guys. Hope you guys learned something new.
Really well said.
Yes.
Wow, that was really good. It fired me up.
Period.
I'm like, wow. But before we go on and wish everybody a good week, we have our question of the week. Last week, what did we ask? We asked what were some important women in our lives, right?
Yes.
More or less.
Like that impacted us, that changed our
Yeah.
perspectives or something
What
like
did
that.
what did our audience say?
Did we get a lot of responses? We better have.
Unless y'all hate women.
Right. I'm going to just say you do.
Damn. Julie made a face, which means we didn't.
Damn, so
We
y'all
got-
hate
we got
women?
some.
Y'all hate
Uh,
women?
So the question of the week last week was, who is the woman that has changed your perspective on life? And we got a couple of responses. One of them was my mom and my mentors in my academic and professional journeys. Somebody else said my mom. Somebody else said queer women have inspired me so much and I love them so much.
Valid.
Another one was my mom and her resiliency along with my cousins that work so hard and are like my sisters.
Valid.
And then last one was Alyssa Leo.
Oh,
Oh,
name
the
dropped.
Olympian?
The the
Oh, I thought it was a
figure
person.
The ski figure.
the
The figure skater.
Why did
Yeah.
I say ski figure?
She's so her dad had all 5 children be a surrogate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he
I
was
had
a
no
single
idea.
father. He's a lawyer.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, really?
Immigrant, I
didn't know that.
believe too as well. That came and he did all like that was
What
like
the
what
fuck?
the
Are
hell?
you serious?
I think that is what I
Look it up. It's like
saw.
bullshit.
I'm pretty sure because I was like, oh my god,
I'm not
that's
even
so
gonna look it
cool.
up. I'm
just
gonna
trust
take your word for
just
it.
trust the woman.
Believe women.
Believe women.
Literally, I'm just gonna believe you.
So how many people answered total?
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have
Damn.
72.7 thousand followers, and only 5 of you.
Oh
So,
wow. Do
wow.
you guys hate women?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
They
You
always
guys
say
don't-
the enemy
you guys
comes from
don't
within.
have a woman that
Inspired
she
you?
inspired you. That's
They said boring ass question. I think like a bunch of fucking people answered.
that's
Wow.
They like that
Wow.
messy shit.
Yeah.
You know what? We're kind of hurt, y'all.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Should we just
What-
stop?
You know what I will say though? Quick tangent. The person who said queer women, I think that's true. I think as I've gotten older, I think I've really like have gained an extremely big admiration towards queer women. I saw this TikTok the other day that was saying about how like when you're in a queer relationship, it teaches you to sort of like decolonize your mind because you start to question like a lot of the gender roles.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really powerful statement, and I was like, you know what? Shout out to queer women.
Mhm.
Yeah, shout out, just a special shout out, I guess. Not to say that I don't appreciate all women, but just saying, I don't know why it's been on my mind. What's our question of the week, guys?
So for this week, it's are we more connected or more lonely than 20 years ago?
More lonely for sure. Connected in a shallow way, I think.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, there you go. We'll
I
see you
th-
guys.
No, literally, I agree. I feel like it's like too
So
connected.
20 years ago is 2006.
Holy shit!
Fuck,
I was
bro.
thinking like the 80s.
No, 20 years
Holy
ago.
shit! That's
social
crazy.
media was a
So what do you guys think? So when
Damn,
when did
actually,
internet exist?
It
Like,
already been existing.
in the
YouTube already
2000s?
existed in 2006.
yeah.
Man, when did you guys get
6
social media?
years.
When did we?
How old were you guys when you got social media?
I don't remember. 14,
I
13.
I was a
did-
freshman in high
I think
school.
I was a freshman in high school.
I was in high school as well.
Mhm.
I remember I still have it in my archives and on Instagram, and literally I put first post the day that I got Instagram.
First post.
Yeah,
I,
first
I
post.
also have one like that, and it's like first post, and it's our. I'm actually gonna shout out. Actually, I'm not gonna say his name. I was gonna shout him out by name, but I won't. But one of the homies that we went to school with in Catholic school, it's him posed up with a picture of the Virgin Mary, and I think my caption's like, "This felt right to be the first post," like some corny shit like that.
No, mine was just a selfie with like one of
I
my
miss when
friends.
social media was corny like that.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we had
Hey,
until we
it still
lost
can
it.
be.
I still
Yeah,
be
but
that
it's
shit.
like hyper ironic and like
Nah, you gotta
No, but
do what you want to do.
You know what's funny is that I have looked at like my old posts that I used to have, and I'm like, bro, I literally would just post whatever on there
Bro,
and be like, and just
yeah.
be like talking to people online, being like, look at what I'm doing, or like, what do you
Yeah.
guys think about
I
this?
remember people being kids and they would post like I don't know. I guess it's,
TBHs and rates.
no. I guess it's not funny. It's not funny in that way where they would post like 9/11 memorials, and I'd be like, you weren't even alive, dude. Like I don't know. I just thought
Oh,
that
I
was-
get what you mean. It'd be like 4th of July, and they'd repost one of
Yeah.
those Facebook like remember the
Yeah.
fallen.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you? Who? Where are you getting this from, dude? Your family's not in the military.
It shows you that kids are impressionable, man.
that is true.
I mean,
Yeah.
it shows like they don't know what cool is, so they look up to the older people.
Yeah,
So be cool to kids, man.
I guess we're disconnected.
I agree. I think there's some beauty in social media, obviously, because you get to see people you probably would have never seen. Get to see ideas you would have never seen because you have so much access. But I think that's also the downside because you have too much access, and it can make you just get so overwhelmed,
Yeah.
or just like really think so deeply about yourself in a way that's like so like microscopic. Like we get too like into like how we're being perceived when it's really never that deep at the end of the day, but it's really hard because sometimes it does feel that deep.
Yeah.
Like even when you think, oh, I don't care what people think or whatever the case may be, it's still very difficult because it's like, well, they can see this. Like they can come up with their own conclusions and whatever about me off this one little post, and it's just like, oh, that's kind of terrifying. So
Yeah.
I can understand.
I saw a post. I found it. I actually did save it. Her name is Lily Eagla. I don't know if that. I don't know. That her post is. I don't know if that spells something out. But her post
Imagine
was
it's a slur.
her post was about how she was like the stereotype of not being able to make friends in Los Angeles, and she was like, the way you make friends like anywhere is to be politically active. She was like, if you go to protests, you go to meetings, you actually do make a lot of community. And I thought that was really interesting because I think it makes a lot of sense on a deeper layer of why people tell you not to be political, because then you don't connect with like-minded people in that way. And I feel like if your complaint about social media is that it's very surface level, and that's a pretty good antidote, I suppose. Because I find that like that scares me about meeting some new person and being like, fuck, dude, where do you lie?
I hope they're not randomly like, oh, this is why I love Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you know, like that always, because there's always a few dog whistles where it's like, oh yeah, I love going out and shooting my guns. I'm like, you know, all right, maybe.
Sound like a dog.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make.
Yeah,
The-
so
the
I don't
head
know.
tilt.
Yeah, I think in that sense there's a lot of disconnection, but I do think there's a lot of antidotes. Like I think you have to just go out there and do stuff like that. Because if you go to protests, there's a lot of cool people there.
Yeah.
There really
You
are.
gotta go where you already have like interest in.
Community.
Yeah. You'll find people who think like you. You'll find your people, or
Yeah.
your people will find you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I also think, especially now, there's a lot more options of like the whole work from home.
Mm-hmm.
a
Shout
lot
out
of
to that.
people-
Thank God.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't get to like socialize as much. So I think that too, it's like we're kind of like losing the connection with each other. Because I
Mhm.
feel like,
Mm-hmm.
at least now in my adulthood, I've met people through work. I mean, I met Janel through work.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh wow! I met
We
Julie
worked-
through no.
You met, I mean, through community. She's
yeah, through
my
like
sister.
through like
Yeah.
school or like
Yeah.
work, and that's kind of how you meet people. Or if you go to just places that you really like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you get to meet people like there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I have seen a lot more people be like, oh, I like live in LA and I have no friends, and like I'm trying to create these events so I can like find more people. And it's just really interesting because I'm like, how do you not find a sort of community as an adult, you know? Like,
Mhm.
because I feel like because
You
I
got no friends?
was like, as
I
an
don't mean
adult,
to
you
laugh.
can like go, literally, you have the freedom to go out and just go wherever you want and actually find people. I just thought it was an interesting thing.
Mm.
For sure.
see.
Yeah.
I think
Or
it,
here,
I
I
think it's a
guess.
little. I think it's weird when people from LA say it. To be honest with you, but people from like in those little butt fuck nowhere towns, I'm like, I can understand. You're not- especially if you have very radical like way
Alright.
of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find people who are gonna think like you, and
Yeah.
especially you're around like a whole bunch of like people who just they
Right.
just don't get it because they just don't get it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So basically, we all have the first ever unanimous.
wow.
We've had a unanimous position,
Which
haven't we?
one?
I feel like they've all been pretty unanimous, no?
Well,
Little
they're all
different.
different. No,
Yeah,
they're
No, I
all
think
different.
we've all,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Oh,
we've all
were
said.
we too general on this one in our answers?
No, because there's only like a yes and no basically of the.
Yeah, of like
Are we
yeah.
disconnected? Yes. or no?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all.
Yes.
We're
Our
all
answers? Yes.
Yes,
We're all
Lord.
disconnected.
So yes,
Yes,
Lord.
Lord.
Yes.
Also,
Lord. How does this make yes? I never.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Lord.
nodding.
Yes,
Lord.
Lord.
Wow.
they're doing church.
Oh, okay.
You
shit
never-
we used to do
In church, we had a song
The-
that
or
was
the-
called "Yes, Lord,"
yeah.
and you.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Or the
yes,
other one that I
Lord,
liked was
yes,
that we
yes.
came from heaven.
They yearn
to
for
earth.
church.
Yeah. I thought you were supposed to start doing YMCA.
Dude, that was whoever designed, whichever teacher, whichever priest, whoever the fuck designed like adding dance moves to the incredible propaganda for kids, because
Yeah.
was so
that was the only songs that they would actually get up and be like singing,
Like the
and
Dare
dancing.
thing. Do y'all remember that?
Which
When
one?
it was- when it was
Dare
trying
like
to-
drugs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when and
We
we
had Ned.
we did.
Oh,
I
the
think I had
yo-yo
that
guy?
too.
Oh, you guys had that?
Yeah, I have the yo-yo guy. Ned.
Yeah, Ned. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
I thought
like,
that shit was so cool.
We had Ned, not
We
Dare.
did a song to
Never-
like a
how did it
what's it
go?
called? Gold Digger.
Never ever do drugs.
Really?
Wait, what'd you
Yeah.
say?
Never.
We did
ever
we did like a remix to Gold Digger by Kanye West. It's like just
How'd
to,
it go? How'd it
I don't
go?
even remember, but I just know that was the song that we used, and I was
That's
like, oh
funny.
shit, I'm never doing drugs. This is hype.
They made us write the Never Do Drugs song. Do you remember
Really?
Yeah.
that?
Sing your song,
No,
sing your
it's
song.
corny. It's cringe.
He wrote a song.
I wrote a song that doesn't even make any sense. I don't know what I thought I was
Songwriter.
cooking.
What did you say?
It was no, I'm not gonna talk about it. It
I'll
makes
do
it
it.
cringe
I'll do
even
it.
now.
We have to stop doing drugs. We have to stop doing drugs.
I thought,
that was his song.
and whoever like,
Ooh, that just opened a memory, but I don't
Which
think
one?
I can't remember.
you're like, but I don't think I want to open it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stop doing drugs.
You remember
I mean,
Coney?
Stop doing drugs.
The which
Also,
Coney?
Who's Coney?
No, okay. No,
I remember one
It
time
was something like that.
we
It was
went
like a
to like this
movement.
church
Ugh.
event and they rapped the Hail Mary at us. Like the guy was like rapping it.
Hail, oh yeah, Hail Mary, full of grace.
The
I
Lord
remember
is
that.
What?
I hate that
That's
shit.
funny.
That
It
shit's
was
so
like it was to
cringe.
make it cool, dude.
The only song that
literally-
I
got like goosebumps.
that I actually liked from church was the "And He Will
Raise."
Raise." It was so
Eagles
dramatic. I love
wings.
how dramatic it was.
Yeah.
Well, the story is dramatic, man.
Oh, the resurrection of Christ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you
Did you-
Catholic?
No.
What's your
What's your family's religion?
what's your
My family is Christian, but I consider
Oh.
myself like I believe in God.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm religious.
Oh,
Valid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm Catholic either.
Yeah.
We just went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, bro,
Bunch
you
of-
literally made the hairs on the back of my fucking
We
neck
had to
stand up.
stop doing drugs.
Ah.
I remember we also had to do presentations on like drugs and why they're bad. And guess which drug he did?
Meth,
No.
Marijuana.
crack.
Yep.
Marijuana.
He did it on
Marijuana.
weed. And they had pictures of Hitler
It's-
smoking
What?
weed.
I made one where it's like Hitler and he has like a joint and he's
Uh-huh.
smoking it and he's like, you see who smokes weed?
Because Hitler smoked
I'm
weed.
dead.
I
So
found out
I
Hitler
remember
was a
this
Taurus, and I was
presentation. He had a
disgusted.
picture of Hitler smoking
That's
weed.
I
crazy.
photoshopped it like it's not real.
And now look
You
at
were
him.
photoshopping in high school?
I just like cut it out and then like put
Oh,
it on there.
And now
Okay.
look at him.
That's funny.
Now look at him.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
You know what's
I don't even smoke
another
weed now.
what's another like Catholic school memory
What?
was Brandon's class did Meet Me Halfway and
Yeah.
he was Will I Am.
I was
Were
Will
you-
I Am.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Will I Am.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We did the parting of the we all wore red. We all wore red.
Red Ribbon Week?
No.
Oh.
I remember that. We all wore red, and like this guy was Moses, and he split the like
The sea.
the sea.
Whoa.
So
Whoa, that's
it was
cool.
really
That's
cool. We
cool.
thought we had all.
And it was
that
supposed
was
to be
our
the
whole-
Red Sea?
Yeah, that was
Oh.
all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how do we not think of
Do you remember,
that?
do you remember his
crazy.
class did Michael Jackson bad?
Yes, I do.
Mm.
And
We
were
had
you
like a knife fight or whatever.
were you the other guy or was it?
No.
It
That
was-
wasn't me. It was.
You were in
Again, I
Michael?
was about to say his name. It was that guy who I just talked about, and then
It was so
the other
they,
guy.
They were like fighting
Yeah.
to.
They like
to-
tied their hands and shit.
Why do we
Oh,
do that
wow.
shit, dude? What like if you were a parent, do you want to see that shit? Would
Yeah,
you want
I
to?
do look- I do look-
I wouldn't want to see that shit. Like, oh my.
Valentine does it now.
Oh,
Our
he does?
nephew?
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's
Wh-
cool.
which
But
one did-
they're
Theirs
a
is
lot,
shorter.
they're a lot better.
Which
Yeah.
one? Which one did he do? Did he do anything cool?
Yeah, his are like cool though. His are like
Oh.
oral
Yeah.
farming.
Ours
Mm.
suck,
Or
dude.
if-
Theirs is like cute. Like they're they don't have to wear costumes. They just wear all black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember our teachers took it way too seriously, bro, and it made it not fun.
It's like max half an hour too, huh?
Yeah.
Do you remember ours would be like all day till like the sun sets and shit?
Yeah, and we have to be there after school.
Damn.
We
And
always had to do the Christmas.
And they'd
program,
hype it
too.
up. They'd hype it up so much. I remember one time the music teacher was like, "These rows are gonna be full of people from the community watching you guys," and fucking like nobody came.
I don't know. I remember it being packed.
There was one time where we had the whole church and only like the two first pews were filled. Instead of, I was like, why
That's
do we
funny.
do this shit, man?
But speaking of wearing all red, wait, one last thing before you give a quick shout
Uh-huh.
out. We didn't acknowledge this at all. We're all wearing green because it's St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys.
well, it's not St.
Say
Patrick's Day
that.
today.
Well, it was.
Say
it's
Happy
next
St.
week.
Patrick's Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that we did this whole episode. We didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah,
at
I
all.
know. I
Like-
realized it after you were doing like your segment, and I was like, bro, we never like talked about that. We're all wearing green.
I realized it when you were doing yours, and I was like, wait, this doesn't seem like the
What was your
appropriate time.
luckiest moment?
Luckiest moment.
Yeah, is that not St. Patrick's Day? Like luck.
Yeah, I found money
Mm.
on the ground. I guess every time.
That was your luckiest
ev-
moment in your
every
entire
time-
life.
Yeah, every time I find money on the ground.
Ever? How about just in this past week, guys?
In
What was
this
a
past
lucky
week,
moment? Yeah.
I don't know.
I went to the beach and the guy who sells ice cream was passing by and I had cash on me.
Oh, and
I
you
usually
swam with
never have
dolphins?
cash on me.
I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any.
No
This
luck
week.
This week? Damn.
You get a lottery ticket, and I'll let you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I last
today.
last year for Christmas, my coworkers got us all lottery tickets. I thought that was pretty cool.
Did you
gift.
win any?
Mhm.
No.
Oh.
Mhm.
But I thought it was, imagine if I had one. You think, would you have been mad if you got somebody a lottery ticket?
that's
Thinking
true.
like as a like fuck, like I don't know what to give. I'll just give him a lottery ticket, and that motherfucker
And then
wins
you
the
won?
fucking. And it was when the
Damn.
billions were.
Damn.
Would
That
you
would
be
probably
mad?
eat him alive for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna do a special shout out to all of our patrons. Shout out to Yoel, Eli Quintero, Steven Carvajal, and Diana Laura. Diana
Yeah.
Laura. You pay me to say it right. So. Thank you so much to everybody who watched the episode. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to all our patrons. If anybody out there ever wants to join the Patreon, our link is always in the description. Again, we really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.